Okay, everybody, let's go ahead and I've got a shorts I just did by Iron Maiden, 1982, Hallowed Be Thy Name. That was my next concert after Tommy Shaw from Styx, and it was in Alpine Valley. And I got the lyrics here. I'm not going to read them to you, but the part that says, maybe you'll be, when you know that your time is close at hand, maybe then you'll begin to understand that life down here is just a strange illusion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hallowed be thy name. Well, I say the Lord's Prayer many, many, many times a day. That is what Jesus told us to pray. That's his prayer. And however you want to think of Jesus, it's 444 on the clock, real time here in Hemet, California. However you want to think of Jesus, that's up to you. Everybody knows him differently. Again, words and opinions are not something that I get into. It's up to you how you want to believe. That's why I liked AA too, because they believed in a higher power. They didn't make you believe in a certain God. And I really like that. However, you want to believe is up to you. We do have a few cards I want to go over and a few things from Astro. So, Iron Maiden, Ozzy Osbourne, all these groups that AC/DC. I remember coming out of AC/DC and the religious people were handing me tracts telling me I was going to go to hell. You know, it's all in what you want to believe, okay? And I take anything and I make it good, okay? So we're not going to get into opinions of this group is satanic or this song or this person. We're not going to get into things like who we believe in. It's all on you, and you can take anything you want and make it into good or bad. It's the intent. And that's why I love quantum, because quantum is all about consciousness, and I love that. Anything to do with consciousness, I love, because I'm a pure soul and I just love it. And we have not had a pure soul reality or life in so long. I'm getting so tired of these illusions. Life is illusion, grand illusion sticks, right? It's all illusion. Life is just a fantasy, Elda Nova. You know, I think and talk music 24/7. Um, Astro, they were just wanting me to tell you that there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and it can be emotionally draining when you come into your physical avatar, because you're bringing it in from astro into your physical avatar, and then you have a whole nother dimension reality that you have to live out here. So some of you might have children, some of you might have you might be imprisoned in jail yourself. You might have to go to a job. All these things that you have to do in your physical avatar. Plus, you're bringing in all the stuff we're doing in Astro, which right now is pretty intense. I know I told you we were in school, but you have to remember that if you're called out of class for an assignment, you don't stay in class. So even though maybe 20 of you stayed in class, 5 of you got taken out to do an assignment. So just because you're in class doesn't mean you stay in class. Okay? We're called out all the time to do operations and missions. And right now, I woke up with a headache because last night's was pretty intense. It was about the children. Yep, and I don't know when this is going to end, but hopefully soon. Okay, the cards from Hallowed Be Thy Name, Hallowed Be Thy Name, is, now I said hallowed for a reason. It's hallowed, but hallowed is another word. We're hollowing out the tunnels. There's Willie. We're hollowing out the tunnels, if you know what I mean, right? If you know, you know. And they just want me to tell you that you really got to try to keep your emotions in check because it's not easy. Okay? We have a lot of fraudulent activity taking place, and we're cleaning it up. And that was the card there. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's go back to the shorts. Iron Maiden. I know that the cards came out one way, and I want you to look at the shorts and read the cards and the way it came out to the song. But then I put the cards back, and they came out a different way with a different message. So you're going to get two messages, one on the shorts and one right now. So it's kind of like an extended. They're saying there's a celebration coming with a soulmate. Celebration coming with a soulmate. Now these are the same cards coming out in a different order for a different message. There is communication coming. And they're saying that this soulmate is somebody you're working with in astro, in the tunnels. Okay? You're doing work with this person. And this person is going to communicate with you. And you're going to start celebrating all that you're doing. So keep up the strength. Just like a cactus in the desert, I'm hearing it has to wait for water, and then it stores the water because it has so much drought. So you're saving up your strength for your assignments, and you're going to be celebrating soon with your soulmate. It's a golden ticket opportunity that's going on right now. Okay? Now, we've got comfort after that. The golden ticket opportunity is going to finally give you comfort. Some of you are not too comfortable right now. It's bringing you comfort. So they want you to keep focusing and keep using your intuition because things are really changing. And the last card out is keep your mood in check because that's the key. Now, those were the same cards that I did on the shorts, and you're going to get two messages because this one's different. Okay, that was that. That's all from Astro. The song, everything. They keep giving me visions. They keep giving me visions. Okay. Now, with this fraudulent activity, we're going to go ahead and shuffle these cards up good. And that's what's going on. We're taking care of, did you ever hear of the phrase, draining the swamp? Okay, well, that's what we're doing. Whether it's a political statement and you don't like the person that made the statement or not, it doesn't matter. I don't do politics, but we live in a world with politics. And in Astro, we are draining the swamp. We're taking care of all the fraudulent activities that are going on. Okay? And you're part of it. And your soulmate's coming in physically. Like I said, it might not be your twin, but it's a soulmate. It's somebody you're doing work with in Astro. And we need to finish it up in the movie. We need to finish it up in our physical avatars. Okay? Now, I don't know about animals. I wanted to tell you, too, that they were like magnets. Now they seem to be more in an aggressive mood where they're not only a magnet protecting you, like let's say a security team was surrounding you. Now the animals are more jumping at things and doing things and fighting amongst each other. Okay? So there's action in the security department going on. That means that there are attacks being sent your way, just like Willie jumped down at that exact moment. There are attacks. Now these cards fell on the floor, so we're going to take them. All right. But just like Willie jumping down like that, that's how the energy is right now, where it's actually happening. Instead of them being like a magnet on top of me or around me, now they're starting to pounce on each other, on the table, on things. So we're doing things now, just like in Astro, where I said we're being in school, but we're being called out. Like 5 of us will be called out to go do a mission. And that's the action. We're sitting, we're learning, we're secure. Then 5 of us have to go out and do a mission. Okay, bottom of the deck was you can't have any addictions. If anybody has any addictions, they've got to go. I keep telling you that. We can't have addictions because that is holding you back. All right? Now, we're going to take the cards that fell on the floor. And I think I want to go ahead and put these where you can see them. And the first card out, we have a fake feminine that's low vibe. So watch for red flags. This is going to be in your physical avatar, not astro, okay? Even though it can still be in astro, what I'm asking about right now is energy for you in your physical avatar. So if you have any questions about a feminine, fake, low vibe person, well, right there's your answer. If you don't know what I really mean at the moment, just put it down for the energy right now. Somebody's being fake around you, okay? They're a gold digger. Your past loved ones visit you while you sleep. They're trying to tell you about this gold digger. This person's wearing a mask. They're in 3D ego. They just want your money, your talent, your abundance. And we're communicating to you through music. So I would definitely check out the lyrics to Hallowed Be Thy Name. And I would definitely watch maybe the last 5 shorts I'm hearing. Yep. And especially the last 2 I'm hearing. And then just pick some randomly because they want to talk to you through music. So check out some shorts today and get some answers, and they will talk to you through the music. Okay, and then we got Willie here saying pray more. Okay. They want you to have a spiritual disease because they have one. And there's deception, betrayal, and lies. Now you can see how dark this reading is. And these are the cards that fell on the floor. So this is really important. I'm going to go back to that communication through music, even though it says I communicate through music. They're saying your higher self is saying that's her, him. And that's why they said rewind what I said about the shorts. Okay, because they want you to have a spiritual disease because they have one. And it's a lot of deceptions, betrayals, and lies. That's why we're cleaning out what we're cleaning out, because it's all fraudulent activity. So we're working with others, and they're working with others. They're trying to create chaos and conflict, and we're trying to clean it up. So we have to let go of the past, pain, anger, bitterness, and resentment, because if you go ahead and go to their level and be upset about their fraudulent activities, then that's where in the beginning when I said we have to keep our emotions in check, because it can really get to you. Now, I don't have to tell you that because you're doing the work. You are a white hat or whatever they call them, right? You are that in astro. But imagine, you watch even TV and you watch about the security that has to go in and take care of the abused animals and abused children and the physical avatars. Well, imagine the astral plane. Okay, I don't want to get into all that, but this is really important. Let go of the past, let go of any kind of pain, anger, bitterness, or resentment, and any kind of addictions. Again, they're telling me because you want to escape. So you're drinking, you're smoking, you're doing drugs, maybe you're gambling, having sex. That's all what led to this tunnel shit, is this. This is like A and Z is the tunnel. Okay, so I think you guys know what I'm getting at there. Another good reading. So this is like the third reading here. All right. Then we're going to wrap it up with St. Michael, and we're going to see what he says. Randomly at the bottom is, or was, you and your loved ones are safe, so have confidence. And again, a lot of you are afraid to leave your comfort zone in the physical avatar because of loved ones, homes, jobs. You really got to get out of the matrix thinking. I can't tell you it enough. I hate even telling you it because I feel like one of them school teachers with the rulers slapping your hands. But between the addictions and the fear of leaving your comfort zone, I can see why some of you are pretty stuck. Okay, so St. Michael says, it's time to leave the unhealthy situation. Everything I just said. So St. Michael's just backing me up. And he says, keep your eyes on the targeted intention. So I think you're going to have to pray more, like Willie said, and you're going to have to pray more before you go into astro, that astro can help you in your physical avatar. Because some of you are having a big problem in the physical avatar. You're all getting an A+ in astro, let me tell you. You're just kicking ass and taking names. But 1741 on the clock. But in your physical avatar, some of you are not making it. And the ones that are making it, they're trying to get you through emotions and gold digging, I'm hearing. Okay, so that's that. That's what I've been hearing. We're going to pick one more card on the top. Be gentle with yourself. So yeah, everything I'm telling you, I don't want you to get all depressed and now lose your kudos because I gave you a little reprimandation there, or reprimand. I just want you to know that you're doing awesome, but I've got to tell you the energy so that you know the energy. I'm going to sum it up with just a couple cards, and I'm going to sum it up with what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a lot. They wouldn't let me remember too much because it was pretty graphic. I remember just a few things, and that was a few children I saw lying on beds and blankets sleeping after the whole fact, after we brought them to our safe house. That's all I can remember visual, but I'm hearing so much that they want to talk about. So you might want to watch this one more than once. That music thing was really important because they want to communicate with you more. Like they've already given you 4 or 5 readings just in this one, but they're really chatty. So they want to chat with you more, and the shorts are the easiest way because there's cards that say what they are, and then there's music, and then you can Google the lyrics. Okay, so now I'm going to pick a couple cards here, and I forget what else I was going to say. There was something else they wanted me to tell you, but it went. So, okay. So we've got, this is all spiritual. So everything I'm talking about is all spiritual stuff. None of this is materialistic, except for the fact that if you do have any kind of assets, that's what they're kind of going to try to go through. Like if you have money, if you have talent, this female energy, this gold digging energy, they're just going to try to get you through materialistically because they're materialistic. You know, their thinking is materialistic. We need to be more spiritual. And you know, you might want to say, go ahead, have it, and I'm out of here. You know, that's probably the easiest thing. But a lot of you don't want to do that. I know I've told several people to sell all their shit and start enjoying life really simple, and they can't do it. Okay, so toxic. So everything I just said backed up there, and everything's just repeating. So you've got that toxic on one hand, you've got spiritual on the other hand. You're going to have to make those choices. I can't make them for you, but I am Miss Mystic, and I do want to thank you for listening.